Since many of you may have not been properly introduced to QGIS or may have never used QGIS before, so in this video we are going to get you introduced to some basic functionalities and tools in QGIS. Using these tools, you will be preparing your maps in your assignments. As you can see, there are so many tools. There are at the top toolbar here you can see the plugins, you can see the raster, you can see the vector, each containing a lot of tools. But for our assignment purpose, so let's start with some basic tools. First, import the satellite image into the canvas. Like before, from the XYZ tile, let's drag the Google satellite image to the canvas. After that, here at the top you can see there is a plus sign. This is the zoom tool. If you click on it and drag a box on the map, you can see that portion will be zoomed in. Just click on a point, drag a box, and that box portion will be zoomed in. You can see here I am doing, let's zoom into some more extent. Similarly, with the minus magnification tool, you can drag a box and zoom out to its extent. Just after the plus magnification and minus magnification tool, at the right you can see that at the top there is a hand shape tool named as the pen tool. Using the pen tool, you can just hold the map and drag it around and pan it around to different positions. So now remember, these three tools are the most important tools we will be using during our assignment, because while you are doing your map you have to zoom into different portions and to a very great scale. At the same time, after you are done working in one section, then you must drag the map to another section to complete the assignments. As you can see, here I have zoomed in to a great extent, and you can see that all the rivers, the houses, the trees and the fields, all those are pretty clearly shown in the canvas. So this is pretty important. Unless you can see them clearly, you won't be able to map them properly. Keep in mind, the more you zoom in during your map, the more accuracy your maps acquire. Now we will learn how to add vector layers or vector shapefiles over a satellite image. To do so, let's go to the layer, open the drop-down menu. From there, select Create Layer. There you will find the option New Shapefile. Select it, and as you can see, there are options for 3 or 4 different kind of shapefiles: points, multiple points, lines, and polygons. Basically, the points are used to tell the positions or to determine the positions of different locations. The multiple points are used to determine similar features. The roads and the canals and the lines, they are represented by the line features. On the other hand, the polygon is used to represent areas. Now we will create a point file. Just name it point. After you do that, go below and you can see there is a field name, label field. From this field you can add different information in the form of a table to your shapefile. Now to add a field, just name the field and select add, and you can see it will add it to your shapefile. Similarly, if you want to delete it, just select it again and from the bottom click remove. So it will automatically be removed. Now I want to add a field that will describe the point features. So I will name it class and add it to our table. Now select OK. So as you can see in the left side in the layer panel, there is a new layer called point is created. Now I will select it to activate it, and then to edit it at the top directly below to the zoom in tool, you can see there is a pen like shape that is named as toggle. If you click it, the layer is ready to be edited. Right after it, you can see 3 different points and click on it to add points. First, you click a point and give an ID. So, for example, if this point is a house, I'm thinking that it is a house. I'm giving it the ID 0. All the houses, they will have the ID 0, and the class is house. Again, there is another house, so click it, and since it is also a house, give it a ID 0 and rename it to house class. Now think that this is another house, so give it ID 0 and rename it to house class and say OK. There are so many points you can see here, so it is pretty difficult to identify whether it's a house or a mosque or any other institution. Let's just assume for now. Again, I think this is a mosque, so give it another ID. For mosque, I am assigning the ID 1. And for playground, I am assigning the ID 2 and creating another point. So think this is a mosque, so I'm giving it ID 2 and renaming it to mosque. Okay, so after I have created these 5 points, all these 5 points are in one layer named point. Now if we want to save it, just before we save it, we go to the attribute table of the layer, and you can see that all the IDs and the classes are decorated right here, so you can add a lot of field from here. And now since the points are not pretty clear, let's change it from the properties panel. If you click on the properties panel of the point layer, you can see there are options to change the colors and the designs of those points. Okay, sorry for that, go again, and from here we can change the point color. So let's change it to red and apply. As you can see, the points are more clear right now. After that, you can change the color to green and apply, and it's green. You can change them to orange and it's orange. At the top you can see that all around the shape there is another small stroke, and it is showing the boundary. We can also change that color. And how to do it? You just click the simple marker and change the credentials for them. For example, I'm now try to changing it, and let's change it to red. And if you want to make it more thick, just increase the stroke size from here. You can see the more you increase the size, the more thicker the boundary gets. And click apply. You can also change the size for the entire point. From just click on the marker and increase the size of the points and click apply. Okay, let's just change it to 1 and click apply. As you can see, the size have increased. Similarly, if you create a smaller value, it will turn into smaller points. So this is how you can add change the symbology for any kind of shapefiles. Now let's create another line feature. Similarly, go to the previous extent, select lines and give it a name lines. You can also add an attribute table like before. Let's add an attribute named class and click on the line features to activate it. It's already activated. As from the left panel you can see that. After you have selected the layer, go to toggle editing, and when you click toggle editing, you can see from there is a add line feature. Click on it and now you are good to go. Just click one by one to different points to connect those points and convert it into a line. For now I am going to map this road as a line feature. So in the last point, right click and the attribute box will appear. Give it a name, an ID, and select OK, and as you can see, the line is fixed. To make it more clear, let's just change the symbology. From the symbology plane, I'm going to give an weight of 1 to make it more thicker and change the color to red. Now it's more visible. Okay, similarly you can do it for the rivers as well. Just click on the add line and again one by one click to the points of that river so that all those points connects and make a line. After you are done, on the last point click the right mouse and that attribute table will come. There you add a different value and a different name for this as it's a different feature. So let's give it a name canal, and as you can see this is also added to our map. Now let's check the attribute table for the line feature. And as you can see, the roads and the canals are added here with different IDs. You can change the ID and the names from here. So let's just leave it here right now. And let's do one thing. Let's check out some interesting thing. Go to the line properties, and as you can see, there are some inbuilt shape features for the lines. For example, there are dotted lines, there are glowing lines, they are highlighted with different kind of strokes. So I am just selecting a dotted line instead of a plain line, and here you can see it is updated. So in the symbology you can do a lot of designing if you wish. Okay, so we are done with the point feature and with the line feature. Now we are going to add a polygon feature. So where do we use the polygon feature? Basically we use the polygon feature to map the large areas like ponds or fields. Let's say go to the layer panel again. From there create a new layer, add a new shape file, and this time instead of line select a polygon, name it polygon, and then like previously go to the add field, add a new field named, for example, give it like previous class and add it. And after done, let's start the mapping. As you can see in the left panel, the polygon layer has been added. So like previously, click the toggle panel and you'll see a edit layer option or edit polygon option. Click on it, and now let's what can we identify or what can we map? Let's just take this bare length right here, one by one, like the shape file. Go around the entire area, click one by one, and when the last point you add, just right click and the attribute table will come. Fill the attribute table with different ID and different name. For example, I am assigning it as bare length. Again, let's do it for another feature. For example, this is a pond, so let's just add a polygon here and name it with a different ID and the name of pond. Similarly, this looks like a zoom in. Okay, this looks like a garden. Let's make another shape file here, and let's rename it to garden with a field value ID of 2. Okay, and last, let's map something big. Okay, let's take an entire area. What can we map? Okay, this entire green portion looks good. Let's make a large area. So I'll start from here. So one by one I will just add the points. So the more we add the points, the polygon starts to increase its size. Go around the boundary of the entire area and click the points one by one. Okay, so as you can see, just like we're doing it, the shape is being created, and when we're done and the last point, click on left and give it ID 3 and a name of, it's an agricultural field, so name it agricultural land. Okay, so now you can see we have created a polygon layer including different kind of polygons representing different class. For example, here are the gardens, the agricultural and the bare lands. So now we all have been introduced to this create layer feature. Like the line feature and the point feature, you can also change the symbology for the polygon feature as well. You can change the outline for the polygon feature as well. So for now I have colored the polygons into orange to make them more clear. Now to change the boundary stroke, I'm changing the boundary color to red. It doesn't fit that much, let's make it purple. Okay, select the purple and increase the stroke to 1 and click apply, and you can see the boundaries are more clear right now. Okay, now click on all those layers and let's activate them. Now we are going to save those layers into a folder or into a file. Let's right click on it, go to export, save as shapefile. From here in the drop down menu, select every shapefile and give it a suitable name. You can write since this is a polygon layer, you can give it suitable name. For example, I'm giving a name and just select the location where you want to save this file. After you give that location, go to that location. I'm going to save it in this folder, and when you are in your location, write the name and select save, and this feature will be saved as a shapefile into that folder. You can do the same thing for all the layers. Now in between, if you need to pause your work and do some other work, you can save all this work in middle. Just save it as a project so you can come back later and continue your work from here. To do it, let's go to the project at the top left corner. Click on the project. There you will find the option save as. Click save as and give it a suitable title, the project you want to later continue work on, and that file, because this is the latest extension for the project. The QGIS is the old extension for QGIS 2.1. Since we are using the QGIS version 3, we'll save it as QGZ. Then click save and the project will be saved into that folder. Now select all the layers and click remove. They will ask you to save the shapefile, so click save before you exit, save and OK. Now all the layers are gone, but don't worry, if you want to get them back when you want to continue your work, just go to the folder where you have saved the project and drag the project into the layers, into the canvas, and click save, and you can see your works are right here, they haven't gone anywhere. So that's it for today. In our next video we'll start our main assignment part. We'll start mapping the borders of Bangladesh. Till then, good luck everyone.